Hello friends, welcome to Gentlemen Cadet Academy GCA. Hope you all are doing good. So today the video is regarding Northeast problem of India, and again it's a very important topic because it is one of the biggest internal security challenge that we are facing from last many decades. And in this video I'm going to cover the data in crisp form, keeping lecturette in mind. And like always, without wasting any time, let us start. Now, starting with the basic information. So, the northeast region of India consists of total of 8 states, 7 sister states, which are Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, and the eighth one is Sikkim. And they have been historically significant, yet often marginalized in the broader national narrative. And the region of Northeast is known for its rich cultural diversity, stunning landscapes, and unique traditions, but still it faces a lot of challenges which are commonly referred to as the Northeast problem. Now, talking about the historical background, so the roots of the Northeast problem can be traced back to the colonial rule and subsequent partition of India. Actually, the British administration policies, which often favored certain ethnic groups over others, they sowed the seeds of discord among communities. The region's varied tribal affiliations and cultural practices, they were often not acknowledged in the larger narrative of the nation building. So, after India gained independence in 47, the integration of these diverse states into the Indian Union has been fraught with the challenges, including the imposition of external governance structures that often do not resonate with local aspirations. And the demographic composition of the Northeast is complex, comprising numerous indigenous groups with distinct languages and cultures. And the policies implemented after independence did not adequately account for this diversity, leading to the feelings of alienation and also neglecting various communities. So, over the decades, this has resulted in a series of movements demanding autonomy, recognition, rights, and ultimately contributing to the enduring issues faced in the region today. And the region of Northeast India is connected to the mainland India by a corridor known as Siliguri Corridor or Chicken Neck. And very soon, video on the importance of Chicken Neck is coming. Then talking about the key challenges. So the very first is insurgency and militancy. So various regions in the northeast, they have been affected by insurgency and militant activities, with various groups seeking greater autonomy or complete independence. And the complexities of local identities often drive these movements. For example, states like Manipur and Nagaland, they have witnessed prolonged conflicts resulting in violence and instability. And the demand for the Naga unification and the separatist movement in Manipur highlighted the complexities of identity governance and search for self determination. And these armed conflicts have led to the significant human rights violations and have hindered development effort, creating a cycle of violence that is difficult to break. Then the second is ethnic and cultural diversity. So the Northeast is a home to over 200 ethnic groups, each with its own distinct culture, language, and identity. And this rich branch of diversity can lead to tensions and conflict, particularly regarding resource allocation, political representation, and also cultural preservation. And inter-ethnic rivalries can also escalate into violence, making it challenging for governments to maintain peace and security. For example, clashes between various tribal groups in states like Assam and Manipur often rise from the competition over land, resources, and political power. Then the third is the economic development. So, despite its abundant natural resources, the Northeast has lagged behind in terms of economic development compared to the other regions of India. Then, infrastructure deficits, lack of investment, and high unemployment rate contribute to widespread poverty. And the region's potential for tourism, agriculture, and industry remains largely untapped. And additionally, many young people they migrate to other states and search for better opportunities, leading to a brain drain that further hampers local development. Then fourth is the political representation. So many communities in the Northeast feel marginalized within the Indian political framework, and there are grievances regarding inadequate representation and participation in decision making. And the political landscape is often dominated by larger national parties, leaving regional parties and local voices unheard. And this has further led to the demands for greater autonomy and self-governance, as seen in the movements for statehood or the establishment of autonomous councils. Then the next is the interstate conflicts. So disputes over land and resources between states can lead to tensions and violence, and the complexity of boundaries, often drawn arbitrarily during the colonial period, complicate relationship among states. For example, the border disputes between Assam and Nagaland have a long history, with both sides claiming ownership of certain territories. Therefore, establishing clear communication channels and dispute resolution mechanism is essential to mitigate these conflicts and to promote collaboration among neighboring states. Then talking about migration and identity issues. So the influx of migrants, particularly from Bangladesh, has raised concerns about identity and resource allocation among local population. And indigenous communities, they often fear losing their cultural heritage and economic opportunities due to competition from migrants. And additionally, issues related to citizenship and legal status for migrants can create tensions, as seen in Assam's NRC controversy. Then the next is environmental challenges. So the Northeast is facing significant environmental challenges, including deforestation, soil erosion, and the impacts of climate change. And these issues affect livelihoods, particularly in agriculture, forestry, and the region's rich biodiversity is also under threat from unsustainable practices, which can have long term repercussions for local communities. So, for example, the unsustainable extraction of timber and minerals can lead to habitat destruction and loss of livelihoods for indigenous communities that depend on these resources. Therefore, there is a need to implement sustainable development practices and conservation initiative, which is crucial for protecting the region's unique ecosystem. Now, talking about the notable incidents in the Northeast India. So, Northeast India has experienced various significant incidents that have shaped its socio-political landscape. So, the very first is insurgency movements, which is in states like Manipur and Nagaland, and they have witnessed these insurgency movements since 1950s, and the group seeking greater autonomy or independence. So, the notable groups include the National Socialist Council of Nagaland and the United Liberation Front of Assam. Second is violence in Manipur, where ethnic clashes erupted in Manipur in May 2023, leading to widespread violence, displacement of people, and significant loss of life. And third is Assam violence, when the riots took place between Bodo and Muslim communities and that resulted in numerous deaths and displacements. Then the Naga peace talks. So the ongoing peace talks with various Naga insurgent groups, particularly NSCN, aim to resolve decades of conflict, and a framework agreement was signed in 2015, but challenges remain. Then the Citizenship Amendment Act protest of 2019. So the introduction of CAA led to widespread protest across Northeast, particularly in Assam, as residents feared that it would threaten their culture and linguistic identity by granting citizenship to non-Muslim refugees from neighboring countries. Then the anti-CAA protest of 2019. So the protest against Citizenship Amendment Act in Assam turned violent with clashes between protesters and security forces. Now let us discuss the pathway to solutions. So addressing Northeast problem requires a comprehensive and inclusive approach. So the very first is dialogue and peace building. So initiating dialogues with insurgent groups and fostering peace building initiatives can help to address grievances and also reduce violence. The government should engage in negotiations that recognize the unique aspirations of different communities. Trust building measures such as ceasefires and confidence building initiatives can create an environment which is conducive to dialogue and reconciliation. Then, second is economic investment and development. So, increasing investment in infrastructure, education, and healthcare can create jobs and improving living standards. So, developing sectors like tourism, agro based industries, and renewable energy can harness the region's potential and promote sustainable growth. Third is cultural preservation and empowerment. So there is a need to empower local communities to preserve their cultural heritage and participate in governance can enhance social cohesion. And the policies should encourage the representation of diverse ethnic groups in political processes, ensuring that all voices are heard. And encouraging community-based tourism can also provide economic opportunities while preserving cultural identity. Then fourth is the interstate cooperation. So promoting collaboration among various states of Northeast can help to resolve interstate disputes and also enhance resource management. So regional bodies can facilitate dialogue and cooperation on issues such as trade, tourism, and environmental conservation. And joint initiatives in areas like infrastructural development, resource management, and disaster response can strengthen ties among states. Then the fifth is addressing environmental concerns. So there is a need to implement sustainable practices and environmental conservation initiatives that can mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect biodiversity. And also there is a need to encourage reforestation, sustainable agriculture, and conservation projects that can contribute to environmental restoration and economic resilience. Then finally, the conclusion I can say the Northeast problem is multifaceted and it is deeply rooted, involve a complex interplay of historical, socio-political, and economic factors that has evolved over decades. So India can pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous future for the northeastern states that will not only empower the states but also ensure that they play a vital and active role in the overall growth and diversity of the nation. And the commitment of both the government and the civil society will be absolutely essential in overcoming these enduring challenges and also harnessing the immense potential of this vibrant and culturally rich region. And moreover, there is a need to invest in education, infrastructure, and healthcare, and the government can create a foundation for long term growth and also the stability in Northeast. And encouraging local entrepreneurship and sustainable practices can lead to economic resilience and also the job creation, and ultimately fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding among various ethnic groups that will be crucial in building a harmonious society where everyone feels valued and included. So friends, this is all about the Northeast problem of India, and I've tried to keep this video as short as possible. Hope this video will be helpful for you. So until then, keep learning, keep watching, and keep supporting. Thank you and best of luck.